So this is the view from our driveway, and that's the turnaround. You can see the pin at the edge of my foot, which is where the white line starts, and that would be our property line. You can see the path now. Everything to the right of the path is township land. You see this tree going over to those two trees was complete solid brush previously. Now please note that all of this over here is township land, which continues to extend at least 60 feet. This is part of the brush that they cleared out right here to try and reduce the thicket, which was here. So this entire area between this tree and those trees was solid thicket. You can see where branches have been cut off the trees to remove some of the thicket. As you'll notice on this tree over here, we have a couple of nice young hardwoods growing on the side. There was in fact two trees over here, you can see by my foot is one stump, that were growing out into the thicket. As we go over here into the thicket, you can see stumps here, and of course there's my property line right there, so just a few feet away. You'll see on the side more of these have been cut. As you can see, the wood only blocks a few feet of the path. However, if we go over and look at the other side of these logs, right where this stump is, which is very close to the property line, as you can see, if I was to remove all the logs, it's sort of impassable because of rocks and other brush. And you can see the path extends to the stair, so you can see exactly how wide the path is now. Extremely wide. This is the fence that I put up. As you see, it's just cheap plastic held up with a few cable ties, so it's hardly a structure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk back towards my pin here. So that would be our laneway. So this area was impassable in the center of the screen. That was solid thicket. So the only way to access the path previously was through here. As you can see, this is a distance of just maybe not even a foot and a half, 2 feet tops from the property line to the tree. There's very, very little room for someone to access the path without being on our property line. So now we're going to go around the fence through my property. You can see where the pin has been moved and placed under this log. Of course, it's quite obvious the indentation under the log and how the log is sort of sitting on top of the pin. Okay, so we'll continue down the path here, or the edge of the path, onto our property line. So, here is the existing property line, and you can see the white line. Now, as I walk down the white line, sorry, I clicked the wrong button, so we're on the white line. You can see just to the side of it here where these trees have been cut, and this tree has been cut to widen the path. You can see where there used to be a stump right here, which is right beside the property line. We're talking the width of my foot away. So it was impossible to travel the path previously without being on our property 100%. So we have trees cut over here, we have trees cut over here. We have a giant hole here beside the property line where they've actually pulled one of the stumps, but you can see how deep it goes because they've removed the stump. Now, if we continue following the property line, well, actually, I'm going to back up. This gives you an idea of just how wide the previous property line was. There's the bushes. There's the line. That's approximately 18 inches between the trees on the left and the line. That's how wide the original path was, approximately between 18 inches and 2 feet, 2.5 feet. Okay, so as we go along, you can see more stumps. Right beside the stick here is another large stump. I'm going to continue down the line. We have the stairs here. You can see how the property line basically leads right over the stairs. And in fact, there is our pin at the bottom. So, beside the stairs, you can see there's more stumps here. There's more stumps here. There's been stumps and trees cut here on our property. This is all the property to the left of the line. I'll back up a little bit so you can see. There's the white line. Again. So now we're heading back towards our property. So you'll notice over here on our property is a freshly cut tree right there. You can see the raw stump. And the entire tree has just been thrown right on our property. There's actually 2 or 3 there. You can see all of this brush here. That's another large tree. Well, not large, but tall. You can see it's all been left here all over our property and just thrown there. I'm going to go down to the water quickly. So as we come down the stairs, you can see where the boats have... Now, to make room to allow themselves to bring their boats up, you can see they have cut extremely large trees here. That one's approximately 15 inches, well, maybe 12 to 15 across, and there's another stump right beside it. There's another boat over here, and as you can see, right in the water line, they've cut another stump right in the water to allow that boat to be able to come up. I'm going to have to do a bit of a tricky maneuver here. Okay, so now I'm completely on township property. Here's a huge pile of the brush that's just been left sitting all over. Even worse, you can see here in the water we have dozens of logs, well, at least a dozen logs, and they're all sitting on the shoreline and just dumped in the water. They've just been dumped and left. It's a complete mess, absolute mess. Look at that. That's right on Marl Lake. This is the shallow area. You're not even allowed to put docks in this area without a permit because it's considered a shallow flooded area. You can see that the depth of the water here is only approximately 2 to 3 inches. Every time a boat comes in and out of here, it's causing damage to the bottom of the water. You can see how shallow this entire area is by how clear the logs are visible underwater. Again, there's our pin, as you can see, right beside the stairs. I should point out here's a... Oh, I'm missing it. Never mind. As you can see, we're on my side of the fence by a large amount. Probably there's the line over there, and as we come across into our property, you can see that's where the pin was hidden. And you can see there's another example of a fresh cut log right here that has just been thrown on our property and left there. There's various brush. So hopefully this will give you a slightly better idea of what it's like to see this situation externally.